Hi everyone, my name is Ray, or some of you might know me as Tiki with Ray, and today I am in Ohio, the Buckeye State. Is that what they call it?
Among other things.
And we are at the Tiki Underground, and not in Akron, Ohio, but like kind of on the outskirts of it. Or is this part of Akron?
Akron adjacent. If you were to go like a mile down the freeway, you'd be in Akron.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, this area is very, very beautiful. And I actually spent some time right over there checking out the falls over there. Now, is that the Cahuga, what's it called?
Cuyahoga Falls.
Cuyahoga Falls.
Yes.
Is that the falls right over there then?
That's kind of like a small rapid
Yeah.
going on over there. And there are like kayaking events over.
Yeah.
So we try to get kayakers drunk before they go and kayak.
Hours of entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we are at the Tiki Underground. We're at the new one. There used to be an old one, and how far away was that?
We were about 7 miles that way.
Yeah.
It was very isolated, kind of a middle of nowhere roadhouse. You had to know it was there.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get away with half the creativity we did here.
Yeah.
So we pulled up our roots, and now year 6 we're here.
Yeah, and for the record, your name is Tim.
Yes, Tonga Tim.
Tonga Tim. And Tim, what do you do with the Tiki Underground?
My business card says Tiki Ambassador.
You're a Tiki Ambassador.
So if we go to events, I get people drunk at events and manage the drink program here.
Yeah.
And that about sums it up.
Yeah, and I understand that you wrote a book too.
I did.
What's it called?
So it's called No Beard or Bow Tie Required, which when the cocktail revolution came about, there was this kind of stereotype. You had to have this bespoke vest and a bow tie and purloined facial hair. And I was like, no, you don't. You can do all this crazy stuff at home. So the whole point was, here's 89 original recipes you could do in your kitchen. So, yeah.
Like I already tried one of them. It was really, really good.
Thanks.
Non-alcoholic one. So
sequel is on the horizon.
Oh, cool.
Yes, no pants required.
Well, I'm going to wear shorts. So today we're going to talk about the Tikis that are inside the Tiki Underground. And we were off camera and we were talking, and it was like, okay, there's some really cool Tikis in here that have a lot of history. And so there's from the Con Tiki?
Most of our carvings are from the Con Tiki.
Yeah.
We have a little bit of Bosco, a piece or two from Grass Skirt in Columbus. A little bit of Kahiki artifacts.
From the Kahiki, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. I mean, you talk about if I could have a Tiki time machine.
Yeah.
That is the one I would want to check out.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's actually some guy, and I think it was like in the 90s, like did like a home video where he was like taking his mom out to dinner, and it's them in the car driving up. They go into it. It's them going inside, going and sitting down, and it's about as close of a time capsule as you're gonna get. And I'm like, oh my god, I wish I could go to that place. And now there's a Walgreens there.
Yeah, because we don't have enough Walgreens.
So before we go inside, you want to bring up one point over there.
Yes, I can't stress this enough. 21 and over.
21 inches.
I don't understand how anyone would want to come to a high-powered cocktail bar with their infant, but yeah, it happens. So anybody watching, please pay attention to that.
Yeah, so if there's any toddlers watching my show, you're not allowed to come in yet.
And actually the door is very special. One of our close friends of the bar, Kevin Moore, he restores hot rods, carves tikis, like the coolest guy ever. He did this side of the door and the interior carving, which is kind of like a squid pattern.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the main optical draws of the bar.
So technically, it's like the first Tiki before we even go inside.
Pretty much.
Cool.
This is right when you get inside the entrance. This is kind of the starting point where our dear friend, Dr. Bill Lynn, so he's a very dear friend of the bar, did a great deal of the interior work. So if you look back in our Instagram feed many years back, you will see him literally throwing wads of concrete against the wall to form this lava facade. Took him so long, but he's got like skulls embedded in here, just really neat little details that you see if you're just kind of casually looking through the place. We also have some carvings. We're lucky enough to have some Tiki artifacts. So this came from our Cleveland Tiki, which closed in the early 70s. This does have a really touching story behind it. So an elderly woman got in touch with Sean, the owner, said, I have a carving from the Tiki, if you want to come and see it. Her husband sadly passed away, but they went there a lot, and he proposed there. So when they got married, this was a gift he got for her. So after he passed, she got in touch with us and said, are you interested in the carving? And she said, how does $50 sound? And we said, well, how about 500? And I think our eventual plan is to put a little memorial placard on there for the family that gave it to us. We do have some local talent as well. So the same fellow who did the door carved these totems, which were originally supposed to be on the bar, but we had some spacing issues. There is another one in the corner. So we do have a nice mix of local talent and also some pretty seriously vintage Tiki artifacts here in the bar. If you take a look up at the ceiling, we have a great deal of vintage lamps. Some of these came from the sadly departed Tiki in Columbus. Also some Tiki lamps up here as well. Oddly enough, this outrigger canoe came from Red Robin. But we kind of repurposed it to fit into the more tropical theme here. So among the many nautical things we've got in here, I should actually point out, like, we had these beams in here with the original bar. They were just painted white. So the idea was, let's do a shipwreck theme and repurpose the beams. So Dr. Bill stained and torched and carved all of the new work on the beams, did everything in the ceiling. And he also hand molded these portholes, which we have a constant aquarium feed going on video through each one. They're all synced up. It's pretty fun. And then over here, we've got Kevin Moore's other totem that he carved for us. He's a bit of an outlaw in the carving community. He tends to prefer using a chainsaw above the, hand chipping. And rather than torch his tikis traditionally with like a blowtorch, he likes to put them behind one of his hot rods and stamp on the gas until flames come out and it catches fire, which is pretty damn cool. So this is one of our prize totems here. This came from the Grass Skirt in Columbus. Sadly, they're no longer with us, but we're happy to have one of their artifacts with us. Kind of similar to like the Bosco carvings that we have underneath the bar. Everyone hits them with their knees. And again, with kind of the nautical theme, keeping on going here. This is actually from my personal collection. If you're a Deadpool fan, Sister Margaret's. The questions we get about that are pretty fun. So this is some more of Dr. Bill's work. So he put all of these, hand molded all of these skulls, did everything in terms of the plant effects, did all this concrete molding. He did this as one piece and it had to be hand carried in, which I'm glad I wasn't here that day. I would have broken my back. And in the back here, this is actually one of our prized possessions. So if you were to go to the Tiki back in the 60s or 70s, this is one of two flat carvings that kind of flanked the far ends of the entrance. So they were a little bit different, but both in the Maori style with the pearl eyes. So there's only one other of these, and we were lucky enough to get one of them from one of our regulars, Brian Tolley. So this is our entrance to the back patio bar. A lot of exotic plants. Thankfully, we were lucky enough to get a trailer bar that really helped us kind of create a whole separate entity out here. And many thanks to Plantation Rum, they helped us put this together. So we do a lot of exclusive plantation drinks out here, all on draft, so you can get them rapidly. So outside here, we kind of wanted to go with another kind of crash theme, for lack of a better word. So the inside is, more shipwreck themed. Out here we thought plane wreck in an exotic paradise. So we actually obtained a plane. Up there is Jungle Jess, our bar manager. Yeah, I don't know how they got that thing up there. Dr. Bill also helped us out with a lot of the carvings out here, or the sculptures. We have even more of them in storage. It's just going to get more crazy as the years go on. And we tried to put together a lot of, some of antique crates with a lot of our favorite rums that have helped us along over the years. Yeah, it's kind of just a cozy outdoor space where people used to park cars. Now we park people here. And if we have any musicians play out here, they play on this platform up above the bar, which is pretty spectacular.
Can you talk about what the material is made out of with the tikis?
I think he used some kind of composite, like he actually hand sculpted these. They're quite heavy, so I believe they might actually be concrete again. I don't want to divulge all of his secrets.
Well, Tim, thank you very much for showing me around. And I'll tell you what, it makes me very, very happy that you guys actually have tikis, and a lot of them. And you have tikis that have historical significance to the tiki scene in Ohio. Like the Con Tiki, that was up in, where was it, up in Cleveland?
That was Public Square, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the grass skirt, which is no longer here, and the kahiki.
Yes.
And it really bums me out that, seriously, every day whenever I think of Walgreens, I get angry.
I know.
And no one understands except me and everyone that lives in Ohio. So what are the hours here? If people want to come down to the Tiki Underground, when's a good time? When are you open?
So we run Monday through Thursday, 4 till 11,
Awesome.
and then 4 till midnight on Friday, Saturday.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much for showing me around.
Thank you for.
And everyone out there, please, if you can, make it out to the Tiki Underground. It's definitely worth your trip. It's an awesome tiki bar. Want to support the Tiki with Ray show and look cool doing it at the same time? Then head over to tikiwithray.com and buy yourself a Tiki with Ray shirt. They're only $20. Tony Canepa did the design, and they're screen printed in America.